Alright, so before we get into the video, I have to say that I am a big tire nerd, which means that this video is going to be very long. So, for your convenience, I will leave some chapter marks throughout the video so that you can jump to basically just what part of the video you're interested in. So we're going to do just an getting the tires on the car, what tires I've picked and why. And then we're going to do the actual initial impression review driving on a dry road, and then I'm going to drive on a wet road and give impressions there. So, and then in the end I will do a final conclusion basically. So yeah, let's jump right in. Hello and welcome back to Vinnes Auto, where today we're going to have a bit of a tire related episode because I have just gotten a delivery with some new tires, which are right over there somewhere. So these are the new tires, which are going to go on these rims here, which I have bought second hand. These rims are of a Volvo V40 cross country. They are 18-inch wheels with 50 plus 50 offset, so they should fit perfectly on the C30. The tires that are on the V40 cross-country wheels now are not the correct size for the C30, or technically they work for the C30, but they're a bit too big, really. But I think it is actually within the legal limit and all, but it's not the correct size. So these are 225, 45, 18, and these new tires are 225, 40, 18, so 40 and 45, so going down to 40 profile. And you can really see here with when the tires are off the rims, 40 profile on 225 width is actually really low profile tires. They've only just managed to get the text for the tire make or the tire model on here. So these are Nokian Hakka Black 3 tires, so they were just released. I don't know how available they are in other markets than here in Scandinavia, because of course Nokian is at least I don't know if there are any others, but at least they're the most popular Scandinavian brand for tires. They're particularly famous for their winter tires, like both studded and studdless winter tires. But just these are summer tires, obviously, but they are more comfort and low noise oriented, while still delivering very good grip, supposedly. So this is a brand new tire. There's not really any tests on these tires yet, so it's going to be interesting to see how they fare, because I could have just bought some Goodyear Eagle F1 asymmetric 6 tires, which are objectively the best tire available in the world right now, just price and performance and everything, and value. But I wanted to try something different, and these are supposedly the perfect mix for what I need, because I obviously have the C30 and I have already got some pretty nice wheels and tires on there. So these are Goodyear Eagle F1 supersport tires, and they are really good, but the sidewall is very stiff. They are very sporty, and they are very direct, very good steering feel. They take heat really well, and just the grip is incredible. But on Norwegian roads, with that car, which is lowered, I figured, and also just because they're, I would say they're halfway to being worn out, at least, if not more. And in autumn in Norway we get very much rain, and so I want to have new nice tires with good tread depth, so that it can evacuate all the water on the roads. At the same time, even though I'm still going 18-inch, these wheels here are 7.5 inch wide, while my other wheels, 18-inch wheels, are 8 inch wide. So these are half an inch now narrower, and it's on the, I'm gonna have exactly the same tire dimension on it, which basically means that you have more tire width per inch width of rim, which basically in practice means you're going to have a more comfortable ride, but also a less direct steering feel. And these tires here, as you can see here, they're not, of course, they're not like touring tires. They're still like ultra high performance tires, but they are a lot softer on the sidewall than what a like my supersport tires are. So still have some. You still have some like structure to the sidewall, but especially like this part here seems to be very like squishable, which is a good thing for comfort. Maybe not as good for like steering feel and sportiness, but I already have a set of sporty wheels, so this is going to be my not sporty set of wheels with much, hopefully, lower road noise and more comfort. And also these wheels look pretty good on the C30. So excited to get all this on here. So yeah, that's basically the situation right now. I am going to find somewhere to get these tires mounted on those rims there. And yeah, we're going to see if these tires here actually make a difference. Especially we're going to focus on noise and comfort, because that's basically the reason why I got these exact ones, because they are supposedly a more comfortable and low noise ultra high performance tire. So yeah, see you then. Okay, so now we got the wheels from the shop where I got them. I got this tires mounted on the rims, and here they are. They are looking pretty great, if I do say so myself. I actually like this little like green Hakka sticker, not sticker, but like logo mark thing, which is on all the tires. So more like a thing to know what tires you have. And yeah, they look decent. I have used this shop a few times and they always do a good job when it comes to getting tires on the car. We have good tread depth, which should help in these rainy months, which we are in now. And yeah, that should be just generally better for comfort and for sound and things like that. And also they're going to have really good grip in the wet. So yeah, I guess without further ado, we should just get them on the car. Already I can tell that these rims, Volvo rims, 18-inch, also 18-inch, these are actually wider than these by half an inch, but those are so much lighter. These weigh probably somewhere between 2 and 3 kilos more per wheel, which is quite a bit. Which does just go to show you how good these Japan Racing flow-formed wheels are. So it's like a in-between thing between cast wheels and forged wheels. So I think these are 8.3 kilos per wheel, which is very good for a wheel this size. And they also, it's not like it doesn't just weigh less because it's bad quality or something. These have been very amazing, and I will show a clip of me not seeing and some people not marking a like raised thing in the road very well. where I literally, after I drove over it, I thought all 4 wheels would be completely smashed up and cracked, but there's not a single mark on them. So very good wheels, but it's time to try something different and something more original. So let's crack on. Okay, so now we got wheels on the car, and yeah, I think they look pretty good on there. So yeah, I guess I'm going to go and fill some air, check how much air is in the tires, make sure it's the correct amount for this car, and we're just going to see how they are on the car. So okay, let's take it for a drive. Very first initial impressions. Steering weight is just a bit different. It's a bit lighter than my other wheels, which makes sense because these are a less sporty wheel. And I do think they are already smoothing out the bumps better than the other tires. Of course, they're still there. It's a lowered car with 18-inch rims, but I still feel the bumps and holes and everything. But it's more like cushioned, so they're not as harsh as they are on the other wheels, which I guess makes sense. Of course, that could also be because it could be on very low air in the tires, which would also make that happen. So we're going to go see how much air is in the tires. So yeah, okay, already I can feel that this is no longer the sports car that it was 1 hour ago. There is just it's still good, like, don't get me wrong, but just the initial, yeah, you can really feel it there. Just the initial on my other tires, you feel like it's like your head is almost connected to the road. It's like you turn the steering wheel just a tiny bit to either of the sides, and it just goes there immediately. There's like absolutely no delay. It's just rock solid. It just goes the way you want it to go. Whereas here, I can feel that it's a little more hesitant to do do quick maneuvers, like if I do some, like the car feels completely different. And I think I haven't really thought about it, which is a good thing, I think. I haven't really thought about the road noise, because I think there is less road noise than there are on the other tires, I'm pretty sure. I can really... There's still road noise, but it's both quieter and a different tone, if that's correct. So it is a bit more pleasant, if that's... Yeah, I guess I could say a bit more pleasant. Of course, we're not going very fast yet, but I definitely think there is a difference there. I'm going to put up some other clip from another video, see if I can notice anything different. Of course, I'm going to take a same surface, so this is dry asphalt. So I will try to do the same. So I will have a clip of a driving on dry road, not wet road, because that does change things, of course. Okay, the road noise is very, very noticeable. There is a lot less road noise, especially if you go a bit faster. There's a big difference already. I can tell you 100% certain there is a difference in noise level. It's not very sporty, but again, I'm gonna go check the tire air level, and we're going to see what I think after I have filled up some air. I'm almost afraid to say it, but it almost feels a bit like a winter tire, which I guess Nokian is known for doing winter tires. So I guess there could be a connection there. But of course, we're going to do some braking tests and things afterwards just to check the grip levels, because of course a winter tire, even if it feels a winter tire, it doesn't necessarily have the same grip as a winter tire. It could be that this has a lot more grip on dry and wet roads, because of course Nordic friction tires are very, very, very bad on just normal dry and wet roads. You should not be using them unless it is winter and snow and ice and stuff. Winter tires are winter tires for a reason. It's called winter because it's not good for anything other than winter. So basically my thought when I got these tires is I have my winter tire, I have my summer tire, and this is going to be my spring and autumn or fall tire. So basically I have 3 sets of tires, because this is going to be more for just daily driving and low noise and wet roads, which we have all the time here in Norway, with the exception of today, apparently. So yeah, let's get some air in the tires. Oh, well, isn't that just great? If anything, they were overinflated, not underinflated, so that's great. They were 39 psi, which I'm pretty sure 36 on all 4 corners is the generally recommended setup. So we're just a bit over, but like if this is how it's gonna be, we're gonna need those extra psi just to have it not feel completely terrible dynamically. But okay, so it does actually feel a bit like winter tire, which is almost sort of funny, because Nokian is a winter tire, like primarily a winter tire brand for cars. So I guess we're gonna have to do some more dynamic driving to find out how they are closer to their limit, because of course what was I saying? Just because they feel a bit squishy around center. It could be that when they load up it gets a lot nicer, like with the Toyo Proxys TR1s, which we have on our Volvo 850. Those are not the most accurate when it comes to like center point, like small adjustments and initial response, but when they get loaded up through a corner, they are very nice and give a very nice and dynamic linear grip. So that initial turn in on these tires are like, it's very soft for a summer tire, especially for a summer tire in the UHB or ultra high performance category, which this tire is supposed to be. It is branded as a sports tire, which I can tell you it's definitely not a sports tire. But then again, I didn't buy this tire because I wanted a sports tire. I bought it because I wanted a more comfortable and less noise tire, whatever. So technically I did get exactly what I wanted. So I can feel through some of these corners. It's not when you get it loaded up and you can feel the grip. It is most definitely better than a winter tire. So even though it feels a bit like summer tire around center, like a winter tire around center, it definitely has some more grip like you would expect from a summer tire. So it's going to be interesting to see how that is. We're going to take it through some of the corners up here, some of the usual ones, and we're going to see how it feels. But so far, very comfortable, very silent, which are the things I was going for. But compared, like, also now, to be fair to the tire, I am comparing it to basically a track day tire, the Eagle F1 Supersport, Goodyear Eagle F1 Supersport tires that I have on my other wheels. And not only are they those tires, but they're also on a wider rim with the same width tire, which does make it more responsive and less comfortable. So that is going to matter also, but there's a big difference here, so it's definitely more than just that. But those tires are so those tires are so sporty. They're like, just the grip is just raw, and the steering feel is so connected to the road, and it's just so immediate. You turn the wheel, like you can like do like that, and the car will just turn like no hesitation whatsoever. Whereas here, it most definitely does hesitate, but it's livable with. It's something you can live with. And I mean, for someone, at least for someone who isn't interested in like sporty handling, sporty driving, someone who just uses it as a daily driver and is not really interested in sports things, I mean, all tires are going to feel pretty much the same just because of that. There is a lot, and even more a lot less noise at higher speeds than my other tires, that's for sure. So I don't remember what I was saying because I was having too much fun. So there's that. Here we are approaching some of our corners. I have recently installed a upgraded rear sway bar on the car, which is actually very nice. It makes the car rotate a lot better and it feels just more sporty around tighter turns, which these are not that tight. So, but anyways, let's have a go, as long as we don't have any cars through here. You can really just feel the way it is not, definitely not very sporty, this tire. You can just feel the car just rolling on the sidewall all the time. It is a very big difference from my other tires, but I mean, through all of that I didn't lose grip once. I was doing some pretty tight turning at some speeds which are to be unknown. Grip seems very good. We're gonna I just hope that my camera won't get ripped off if I try to brake hard, so we'll have to see about that. Go from 80 maybe. Yeah, and again that's... My other tires, they don't screech at all, whatever, like basically whatever I do. On the Nürburgring they started squeaking, but otherwise never. So this just started squeaking when I braked, which is embarrassing. And except for that, the braking force felt very good. It felt very stable under braking, and yeah, it's braked pretty well, I would say, for on a dry road. I will have to see how it is on a wet road, of course, but so far so good, I would say. Grip is all I saw the only test that has been done on this tire, since it's a very new tire, and on that test this tire is actually the best of all the tires tested, of like UHB tires tested, when it comes to dry braking and wet braking. So when it comes to just straight braking, this is supposed to be the very best you can get in the UHB segment. It's not as good on the lateral side, so like through the corners, according to that test, which I can also attest to. It's not the best through the corners, but it seems to be pretty good on the braking, and just the amount of grip seems pretty good. From 80, get on the dry patch, and okay, yeah, that's the braking force and braking capabilities of the tire. Pretty good, yes, indeed. That's a lot of braking force. So yeah, okay, I think that concludes the test so far. Okay, we have just a slightly wet, maybe damp. Okay, it is a wet road. It's like snow standing water, but it is a wet road. And I would actually say I think wet grip is better than my supersport tires. Like genuinely, I think I've went through that corner, pretty tight corner, give it the beans in third, and yeah, it didn't, like, nothing dramatic happened whatsoever. It just held the road perfectly. So I would, based on that alone, I think I can pretty much conclude that wet grip is actually better than my other wheels. So that's good. At least something is better other than comfort and sound, of course. So yeah, I'm gonna continue testing a bit. Okay, here we can do some accelerating, testing the grip. Again on a slightly wet road. See how that works. Do it all the way from first gear. Okay, that's actually a very impressive wet grip. It didn't even. Very impressive grip, just like straight line grip. That was very impressive indeed. There was no dramatics whatsoever, and that was with traction control off, so you would have heard it if it started spinning the wheels, and it just didn't. So yeah, thumbs up for that. Straight line grip, both braking and accelerating, seems to be very, very good. And of course the braking part of that is very important for a daily driver tire like this. I mean, lateral grip is really not bad. It has a lot of lateral grip also, but it's how it delivers it, how it feels in the corners. It is just not sporty. That's basically the conclusion I have to make about this UHB tire. It really is more of a touring tire. It's not a UHB tire. It doesn't give that response and feedback through the steering wheel that my UHP tire does, and of course this is UHP, not UHP, but still it should have a bit more feeling than this does. It just doesn't feel like it won't. On my supersport tires, the car just feels like it wants to go, but here it doesn't do that in the same way. Here it sort of wants you to drive more composed and grown up, I guess you could say. So I guess that fits with the more comfort oriented and low noise. So of course it's going to depend on what you want from a tire. Again, for anyone who's not interested in a sporty tire, I guess I would say, from what I've felt and what I've experienced now, if you don't really care about the sport aspect of the tire, then this is a great tire, I would dare to say. So yeah, I'm gonna do some more cornering up here, and yeah, just try to have some fun, even though this tire doesn't want you to have fun, it wants you to be grown up. Grip is most definitely there. It is there. It's almost like how like Michelin tires work. They have a lot of grip, but they don't give you that sporty feeling that you want. So it's sort of like that. Well, what I've heard from about those tires, it's like this tire, from like going through those turns back there, amazing grip, really great grip through corners, but it doesn't. It's just the feeling isn't quite there to what I want from a sports tire. But like the grip, don't get me wrong at all. If you think of sportiness as just having lots of grip, then I guess it is a sporty tire. But I want something more from a tire that I call a sports tire. I want it to feel sporty, and this just doesn't. But incredible grip, even so, and that's something in and of itself that is very good and which should be commended in a tire. So just doesn't give that want of going fast, which I guess in a way could be a good thing if you have a problem with that. Going fast, but supersport is just more enjoyable to drive. Of course, I do have to say again, I am comparing it to basically the best sports tire on the market, which is also usable on the road. So like, what can you really expect? I mean, you can expect that. You can have fun, it's not that I just had a lot of fun, but there are better tires for doing this, let's just say it like that. But the grip is most definitely there. I mean, I am having fun, I will admit, so in that regard it is a fun tire, but that's also this car, which is just amazing. This car is so great. not there, but still, of course, you can have a lot of fun. It is also depending on your car, but I think that the tire just makes that car that is good just so much better than it already is. Like this car, I can't stress it how much I adore this car. This car is, like, genuinely, it is so great to drive dynamically. It's through the corners and everything, and also now with the new sway bar installed, it is so good through the corners, but there's still something, and it's the tires. It's still fun, but it doesn't give you the same feeling as the supersports. That's pretty much all I can say, and I have probably said that about 10 million billion times already. Yes, you have said that a million billion times already. But anyways, let's get on to the final conclusion. So now that we're done with all the testing, what do I think of the tires? Here the other day, not on camera, I drove home from school to like home here, and it was like terrible weather. You had standing water all over the place. People were driving slowly like they do, and I had nothing to worry about because I had some really good tires. So these Nokian Hakka Black 3 tires in the wet, very good tires, no aquaplaning problems whatsoever, and wet grip also very good. So that's and like the low noise and the comfort part of the tire, those are like the main top things about the tire. On the other side, like bad things I didn't like that much about the tire, but it's of course subjective to what you think and what you want from a tire. It could have been more sporty, in my opinion, especially being a tire in the UHP segment. I think it should have been a bit more sporty, but of course comfort and sportiness are basically two like opposites, so you can't really have one and the other. You have to have one or the other. So yeah, that's basically that. I think that if they were a bit cheaper, I could recommend them more, but generally I think if you just want a comfortable low noise tire with very good wet grip, also good dry grip of course, but especially like very good wet grip and good aquaplaning resistance, I think this might just be the tire for you. But you should, as always, look at other options. Like, for instance, I would compare it to the Goodyear Eagle F1 Asymmetric 6, which is objectively one of the, if not the best tire on the market. So yeah, I guess that's probably all I have to say about it. You've seen the video, you've seen what I've been saying over and over again. So yeah, that's it for today, and hopefully this video was of some help to you in choosing what tire to fit to your car. Goodbye.